Have you ever paused to gaze at the night sky, that silent, star-studded immensity, and for a fleeting moment felt utterly insignificant? Or perhaps, amidst the humdrum of daily routine, you've wondered if there's any meaning to all this beyond what meets the eye. It's a question that assails us all at some point. Why are we here? What is the purpose of life? And perhaps the most unsettling of all, is life truly worth living? Despite everything? These are not new questions. Philosophers, poets, and thinkers throughout history have grappled with them, and one of those who tackled them with astonishing clarity was Albert Camus, the French writer and philosopher. He spoke to us about something he called the absurd. And no, this isn't about something ridiculous or nonsensical in our everyday lives. The absurd, for Camus, is a profound confrontation, almost a cosmic clash, between two realities: our innate human desire to find meaning and purpose in the universe, and the resounding silence, the total indifference of that very universe. It is the collision between our need for answers and the absence of them. Today, we are going to explore what this absurd truly means, how Camus invites us to live with it, and why, despite that apparent lack of inherent meaning, life is not only valuable, but worth living with renewed intensity and joy. Prepare for a reflection that might just change the way you see the world. The heart of the absurd, human desire, and the world's silence. Imagine yourself as a parched explorer in a vast, endless desert. You've been searching for water for days. Your body cries out for it. Your mind is obsessed with finding an oasis, but the desert, no matter how far you walk, offers only sand and an unrelenting sun. There's no hidden spring waiting for you, no secret map leading to a well. The desert is utterly indifferent to your thirst. This is the essence of Camus' absurd. We, human beings, are the explorers. Within us, we carry an insatiable thirst for meaning, for coherence, for a transcendent purpose. We yearn to believe there's a grand plan, that our lives fit into a larger design, that there's ultimate justice or a reward beyond death. But the universe, the desert, offers us no such answers. It doesn't provide a pre-established meaning. It is vast, indifferent, and utterly unconcerned with our existential questions. The absurd is not found in the human being alone, nor in the universe in isolation. It lies in the encounter between the two. It is the tension between our desperate need for a spiritual home and the stark realization that we are strangers in a world that doesn't acknowledge us. This isn't a nihilistic despair that proclaims nothing matters. Rather, it's an honest acknowledgement there is no inherent meaning. Yet I continue to search for one. Consider the daily routine. You wake up, work, eat, sleep, repeat. What for? What is the ultimate goal? For Camus, these kinds of questions, when pushed to their extreme, reveal the absence of a final, universal why. Life doesn't come with an instruction manual or a purpose predefined by some higher power. It simply is. The great challenge of the absurd is that it forces us to confront this absence of pre-established meaning head on. It strips away the crutches of grand narratives that tell us how to live and why. And in that moment, when the confrontation becomes undeniable, Camus presents us with three possible paths, the three responses to the absurd: escape, pretend, or embrace. When we realize that the universe offers us no inherent meaning, the natural reaction can be one of panic or confusion. Camus meticulously identified three primary ways in which people attempt to cope with this revelation. 1. Physical suicide, the cowardly escape. The first response, and for some, the most immediate, is physical suicide. If life has no meaning, why live it? If everything is absurd, why continue this futile endeavor? Camus analyzes this path and swiftly dismisses it. For him, suicide is not a solution to the absurd, but rather an escape. It is a surrender to the confrontation, an elimination of one of the terms in the equation, the human being who seeks meaning. By committing suicide, one does not resolve the absurd. One merely annuls the possibility of experiencing it, and more importantly, of rebelling against it. It is an admission of defeat, not an act of courage. It is, in essence, an attempt to silence the uncomfortable dialogue between human longing and cosmic indifference by silencing the human voice itself. Camus argues that this act, while seemingly definitive, ultimately denies the very consciousness that perceives the absurd, thus robbing oneself of the unique human capacity to confront and transcend it. 2. Philosophical suicide, the leap of faith, the spiritual escape. The second response is more subtle and, according to Camus, far more common. He termed it the leap of faith, or philosophical suicide. This occurs when, faced with the lack of inherent meaning, we cling to a belief, an ideology, or a system of thought that promises us transcendent meaning. This could manifest as a religious doctrine assuring us of paradise after death, a political ideology guaranteeing a utopian future, or even a philosophical system positing a hidden cosmic order. For Camus, this leap of faith is also a form of escape. Instead of confronting the absurd, we deny it or transcend it artificially. We put on glasses that make us see meaning where there is none, or at least no inherent one. It's a form of comfort, yes, but a comfort that prevents us from fully living the reality of the absurd. We deceive ourselves into feeling comfortable, sacrificing lucidity and intellectual honesty. This leap can take many forms beyond traditional religion or politics. It can be the relentless pursuit of consumer goods, believing that material accumulation will bring ultimate satisfaction. It can be the uncritical absorption into social media validation, mistaking fleeting likes for genuine self-worth. It can be the blind adherence to a career path solely for external recognition rather than intrinsic fulfillment. In all these instances, we are seeking an external framework to provide the meaning that the universe does not inherently offer, thereby avoiding the profound and liberating confrontation with our own freedom and responsibility. This act, while offering temporary solace, ultimately diminishes our capacity for genuine, self-created meaning and authentic experience. 3rd, absurd rebellion, the courageous acceptance, the only genuine path. And here we arrive at the response Camus proposes, the one that truly liberates us and compels us to live with greater force. Absurd rebellion. This is not a violent rebellion against the world, but rather a rebellion against the human condition as we perceive it. It is a lucid acceptance of the absurd, without resignation. It means looking the absence of pre-established meaning directly in the eye and declaring, yes, I see it. The universe is indifferent. There is no grand purpose awaiting me. But so what? I will not surrender. I will not flee. I will not deceive myself. Absurd rebellion is an act of defiance. It is living in spite of the absence of meaning, and not in expectation of finding it. It is an affirmation of life in its purest state, stripped of illusions. It is at this point that life, far from losing value, acquires it in a radically new way. This rebellion is a continuous, conscious act. It's not a one-time decision, but an ongoing commitment to live fully, to embrace the tension, and to find joy in the very act of living, even when faced with the ultimate silence. It is a refusal to be crushed by the weight of meaninglessness, choosing instead to stand tall and create meaning through one's actions, living with the absurd, finding value in rebellion. If we accept the absurd and rebel against it, how then do we live? Camus provides us with several key insights, and it is here that the message of life is worth living becomes most evident and motivating. 1. The passion for experience, quantity, not quality, of life. Camus invites us to live with passion. If there is no transcendent meaning, then meaning resides in the quantity and intensity of our experiences. It's not about living more years, but about living more moments, feeling more, experiencing everything life offers, without judging it by an external purpose. Think of an artist who paints for the sheer joy of painting, not to achieve fame. or convey a universal message, or an athlete who runs for the exhilaration of movement, not solely for the medal. Every experience, every moment, every sensation becomes valuable in itself. The taste of a meal, the laughter of a friend, the beauty of a sunset, the challenge of a new project. Everything acquires a renewed intensity because there is no beyond to justify it. The value is here and now. This perspective liberates us from the constant pursuit of external validation or future rewards. It encourages us to be fully present, to savor the small joys, and to find profound significance in the seemingly mundane. It's about embracing the richness of existence, moment by moment, recognizing that each breath, each interaction, each sensation is a unique and irreplaceable part of our lived experience. Example: consider a musician who dedicates countless hours to mastering an instrument. They may never play in a grand concert hall or achieve global recognition, yet the deep satisfaction comes from the intricate dance of fingers on strings, the harmony of notes, the personal challenge of perfecting a piece. The meaning is found in the act of creation, the discipline, and the sheer joy of producing sound, not in an external outcome or a predefined purpose. This is a life lived for the experience itself, rich in its own inherent value. 2. Radical freedom, creating our own value. By liberating ourselves from the need for external meaning, we discover a radical freedom. If there is no God, no destiny, or no universal plan telling us what to do, then we are absolutely free to decide for ourselves. There are no pre-established values we must blindly follow. We are the ones who create our own values, our own rules, our own sense of purpose. This freedom can be overwhelming at first, a dizzying abyss of choice, but it is also incredibly empowering. It means that we are the architects of our own lives, responsible for every choice. There are no excuses. We choose how to live, what to love, what to create, and in that conscious free choice, we find immense value. This freedom is not an invitation to nihilism or apathy. Rather, it's a call to profound responsibility. We are condemned to be free, as existentialists would say, meaning we are solely accountable for the meaning we forge. This burden, however, transforms into a source of immense power. It allows us to define our own ethics, to pursue what truly resonates with us, and to live authentically according to our self-chosen principles, rather than external dictates. Example: a person who chooses to dedicate their life to a cause, like environmental activism, even when faced with overwhelming odds and little immediate reward. There is no higher reason dictating this path, but their own free choice to align their actions with a deeply held value. This choice, born of radical freedom, imbues their life with profound personal meaning and purpose, demonstrating that value is not found but created through deliberate action. 3. Human solidarity. In the absurd, we are not alone. Although the universe may be indifferent, we are not alone in our confrontation with the absurd. All human beings share this condition. This shared awareness leads us to solidarity. Camus, who lived through the atrocities of war, understood that in shared suffering and in the struggle against injustice, we find a powerful, human-made purpose, helping others, striving for a better world, connecting with humanity in its fragility and strength. All of this may not have a cosmic significance, but it possesses a profound human meaning. It is in connecting with others, in love, friendship, and compassion, that we build islands of meaning in the vast ocean of indifference. This solidarity is not a retreat from the absurd, but an active engagement with it, recognizing that while the universe may not care, we do care for each other. It's a testament to our shared humanity and our capacity for empathy and collective action, even in the face of ultimate meaninglessness. Example: consider a community coming together after a natural disaster. There's no grand cosmic reason for their suffering, and the natural world remains indifferent. Yet, In the acts of mutual aid, shared grief, and collective rebuilding, a powerful sense of purpose and meaning emerges. People help each other, not because a divine command dictates it, but because of a fundamental human impulse to alleviate suffering and foster connection. This shared struggle and support create a deep, human-derived value that transcends the absurd. For creation, leaving our mark in the silence. Finally, Camus deeply valued creation, whether through art, writing, music, building, or even the way we live our lives. Creation is an act of defiance against the absurd. It is our way of imposing order, beauty, and meaning onto a world that doesn't inherently provide it. Every work of art, every invention, every cultivated relationship, every moment lived with conscious awareness is a small victory against the universe's silence. It is our way of declaring, I was here, I did this, I felt this, I created this. And in that act of creation, we find a personal purpose, a way to leave our mark, however ephemeral it may be. Creation, in this sense, is not about achieving immortality or leaving a legacy that lasts forever. In a cosmic sense, it is about the act itself, the process of bringing something new into being, of shaping the world according to our will and imagination. It is a testament to our capacity for agency and our refusal to be passive observers in an indifferent universe. Example, a scientist dedicating their life to researching a cure for a disease. They understand that their work may not guarantee universal salvation or an ultimate answer to existence. Yet, the drive to understand, to innovate, to alleviate suffering, and to contribute to human knowledge is a powerful act of creation. The meaning is found in the pursuit of knowledge, the meticulous experimentation, and the potential to improve human lives, all self-generated purposes in the face of a silent cosmos. Conclusion: the joy of absurd rebellion. So, is life worth living? Camus's answer, and the one I want you to take away today, is a resounding and passionate yes. Life is worth living, not because it has a pre-established meaning we must discover, but precisely because it doesn't. This absence of a divine script or a cosmic purpose frees us to create our own value. It allows us to be the authors of our own existence, the artists of our own lives. The absurd is not a condemnation to despair, but an invitation to liberation. It frees us from the burden of seeking a meaning that does not exist outside of ourselves. It frees us to immerse ourselves in the richness of every experience, to love with intensity, to act with freedom, to connect with others in our shared humanity, and to create beauty and meaning with our own hands. Joy is not found in the denial of the absurd, but in its courageous acceptance. It is the joy of the mountaineer reaching the summit, knowing there is no why beyond their own will. It is the joy of Sisyphus, Camus' mythological hero, who pushes his rock uphill again and again and finds happiness in the effort itself, in the defiance of his fate, in the consciousness of his own rebellion. This is not a passive acceptance of fate, but an active, vibrant embrace of life's inherent lack of external meaning. It is a call to live with a fierce, defiant joy, to squeeze every drop of experience from our finite time. It's about finding beauty in the fleeting, significance in the personal, and purpose in the act of living itself. So the next time that question about the meaning of life assails you, remember Camus. Don't search for answers in the universe's silence. Instead, revolt against your own existence. Live with passion. Embrace your radical freedom, connect with others, and create your own meaning, because it is in that rebellion, in that audacious affirmation of life, in spite of everything, that we discover living is not only worthwhile, but the grandest adventure of all. What are your thoughts? How does this idea of the absurd resonate with you? I invite you to share your reflections in the comments below. And if this video has made you think, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe for more philosophical explorations. Until next time.